I take great pride in the bipartisan spirit this committee has historically forged, as well as the bipartisan spirit with which the two of us have worked to lead the committee this Congress. On a variety of issues, we have worked across the aisle to develop common sense solutions to the problems that plague our nation's seniors. So it makes perfect sense to come together today to highlight both the bipartisan work we've been doing in the field of retirement security, but importantly, to listen to the recommendations of a bipartisan commission focused on solving the retirement security crisis. And unfortunately, too many Americans don't realize that it is, in fact, a crisis. The Bipartisan Policy Center impaneled this commission on retirement security and personnel savings in 2014, and its 19-member panel spent 2 years examining ways to help Americans save for retirement before releasing its findings this summer. The report, which we will dig into today, is impressive in both its breadth and its scope. It examines everything from the barriers facing access to retirement plans by both employers and employees to more technical issues, such as the ways to ease employee portability between accounts as they move jobs. And while I don't agree with every recommendation, I suspect Chairman Collins might feel the same way. The whole point of this report and this hearing is to prompt a bipartisan conversation where we can, in fact, find common ground. And indeed, a number of options discussed in the report are already featured in bipartisan legislation that Senator Collins and I have introduced this Congress. At past hearings, we have learned that Americans of all income levels will save if they're given the opportunity to do so. And one of the noteworthy goals of the BPC's report is to provide a savings option for all workers. One recommendation focuses on a national minimum coverage standard. Another recommendation, multiple employer plans, is a key feature of the Retirement Security Act of 2015, which Senators Collins and Nelson co-sponsored along with me. These plans allow small businesses to pool together to create one plan, allowing a third party to handle the paperwork and lend expertise to business owners who are likely not well versed on the ins and outs of 401k plans and which options are appropriate for their workers. Although the BPC report focuses exclusively on ways to ensure Americans have ways to put money aside and not outlive their savings, this committee has also done a lot of bipartisan work on ensuring Americans are not defrauded out of their life savings in or near retirement. So I would be remiss if I did not trumpet the Bipartisan Senior Safe Act, authored by Chairman Collins, that 9 of our committee members and 9 other senators have signed on to. This important legislation gives financial institutions immunity if they report in good faith instances of suspected fraud to the proper authorities, so long as they train their workers to spot potential financial fraud. A version of this legislation has already passed the House, and we're hopeful the Senate will take action on our bill so we can protect the hard-earned savings of our seniors. I'm eager to hear from our panelists to get a better sense of all the options they considered and how they reached consensus on the final report. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome my friend Senator Conrad back to the Senate. I know you have a deep understanding of how difficult it is to move any legislation, even bipartisan legislation, forward in today's Congress. I watched as a new senator your work as a Democrat on fiscal accountability. You, in fact, were a deficit hawk among Democrats, which is not always an easy thing to be in this Congress. I admired your work, and I have many days found myself trying to emulate it. We miss you. We're glad you're back here today. So I want to solicit your advice here on how we can actually get some of these recommendations moving in both chambers. It would be terrific to see the hard work of this commission rewarded by the work of Congress to come together and find common ground to protect seniors as we move into an era where no senior will have enough in Social Security to ensure their comfortable retirement. Thank you both.